While on a first date, he suddenly asked me, "Did you tell anyone where you are tonight?" I met Connor on that dating app everyone uses. His profile said he worked in IT and liked hiking. Normal stuff. We texted for 2 weeks before agreeing to meet at this Italian place downtown. He was already sitting at a corner table when I walked in. He smiled and waved, looked exactly like his photos. That was a good sign. We ordered pasta and started with the usual first date small talk. Where did you grow up? What's your job like? Do you have siblings? Everything was going fine. He was kind of quiet, but not in a weird way. Just shy, maybe. Then halfway through dinner, while I was taking a bite of my chicken pasta, he leaned forward and asked, "Did you tell anyone where you are tonight?" I stopped chewing. My hand froze with the fork halfway to my plate. His face was completely serious, not smiling, just staring at me waiting for an answer. Every single true crime podcast I'd ever listened to started playing in my head at once. This is how it happens. This is the moment right before the news story. I tried to keep my voice steady. "Why are you asking me that?" He didn't break eye contact. "Just answer the question. Did anyone know you were coming here tonight?" My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I'd told my roommate I had a date, but I hadn't told her where, just that I'd be back by 10. I looked around the restaurant. It was pretty crowded, families at tables, an older couple near the window. The waiter was like 20 feet away. "My roommate knows," I lied. "She has this whole app that tracks my location. She's watching it right now." Connor's eyes went wide, then he looked down at his plate and his shoulders dropped. "Oh, thank God," he said. He actually looked relieved. I was so confused. "What?" He ran his hand through his hair and laughed, but it sounded nervous. "Okay, this is going to sound insane, but I need to tell you something." I put my fork down and grabbed my phone under the table. My finger was on the emergency call button. 3 months ago, he started, I went on a first date with this girl named Ashley. Met her on the same app. We went to dinner at that steakhouse on 5th Street. I nodded slowly, not sure where this was going. Everything seemed normal. She was nice. We talked for like 2 hours. Then at the end of the night, I walked her to her car in the parking garage. He paused and looked down at his hands. When we got to her car, these 2 guys came out of nowhere. They had a gun, told me to empty my pockets and give them my wallet and phone. My mouth went dry. Ashley started screaming. One of the guys told her to shut up. Then she said something that I will never forget. He looked up at me. She said, "Just take his stuff and let's go." Not let's go like she was scared. Let's go like she knew them. Oh my God. It was a setup, Connor continued. She was working with them. They specifically targeted guys from dating apps. She'd take them to that parking garage and her friends would rob them. I just sat there staring at him. The cops caught them 2 weeks later. Turned out they'd done it to 7 different guys. Ashley and her boyfriend and his friend. It was this whole operation. He took a sip of water and his hand was shaking a little. Ever since then, I get paranoid on first dates. I know it sounds crazy, but I needed to know if someone knew where you were. Because if something happened to you while you were with me, I'd never forgive myself. I didn't know what to say. This guy wasn't a creep. He was traumatized. "I'm sorry," he said. "I should have explained that better. I probably scared you to death." "A little bit," I admitted. I was literally about to call the cops under the table. He laughed, and this time it was real. "I don't blame you. That was the worst way to bring that up." We sat there for a second in awkward silence. Then I said, "For what it's worth, my roommate actually does have my location. I turned it on before I left, and she knows I'm here." Connor smiled. "Good. That's really good." We finished dinner and talked for another hour. He told me more about what happened that night, how scared he was, how he had to cancel his credit cards and get a new phone, how he almost deleted the dating app completely. "Why didn't you?" I asked. He shrugged. "Because I didn't want to let them win, I guess. I wanted to believe there were still normal people out there." When we left the restaurant, he walked me to my car. It was parked right on the street under a light. Before I got in, he said, "I know that was probably the weirdest first date you've ever been on. Definitely top 3, I said. He laughed. "Would you maybe want to do it again sometime?" I promised to be less terrifying. I thought about it for a second. This guy had been through something awful and he was still trying, still putting himself out there even though he had every reason not to. "Yeah," I said, "I'd like that." We went on a second date the next weekend, to a coffee shop during the daytime, in a very public place. He didn't ask any weird questions, and I made sure 3 people knew exactly where I was. We've been dating for 4 months now, and every time we go somewhere new, he still asks if I told someone where we're going. It used to freak me out. Now I think it's kind of sweet.